I want to shift into some of your leadership philosophies. I wrote these down. I'm going to mention them and just share anecdotally what you will about them. The first one is constant evolution. Tell us about constant evolution.
And I think this is from not just marketing. I actually think for any function. We live in a world of change. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but we know change is inevitable, especially what we just went through the last 2 years. And change is not only inevitable, but it's so rapidly, it's accelerated at a speed we've never seen before. Knowing that you know that, then and know that we cannot predict the future, but you know there will be change, you have to evolve. You have to constantly evolve. So you have to live, everything you do, you have to think about it is in a constant state of beta. It's never finished. So you always iterate, you always evolve. In some ways, is adopting a product mentality. If you think the way you build products, we constantly add to the product, enhance the product, we have new releases. And if you think about whatever you do, use the same mentality, the same mindset that you're always adding, you're always evolving. And sometimes for if somebody's in a creative field, it's a hard thing to accept because you put something out there, you create a beautiful design or a campaign or an ad, and you're thinking, this is it. You put a lot of effort and time into it, and you want it to be perfect. But perfection is not, I don't think is achievable, because when you get to that, then you're going to, we're going to get to the next phase. So have that ability to say that you're never done, you have to constantly evolve. I think it's really, really important. And it keeps you motivated, but it keeps you to innovate. Because what you did yesterday is not as good as this today. And what you're doing today is not going to be as good as what you're going to do tomorrow. So you constantly have to change.
That's great. The next one I really love, especially because of what you represent and your background, is this idea of culture fueling innovation. And I would almost add, especially it's like culture plus diversity fuels innovation, and so I know you've been a big proponent of that, but talk us through culture fueling innovation and what that means for you and your team and Publicis Sapient.
Yeah, culture is really important because at the end of the day, Jeremy, transformation is about people. Look, we are in the business of digital business transformation. That's what we do as a company. We're a digital transformation company that we work with a large established company to help them transform using digital technologies. But the technology is the enabler, because at the end of the day, it is the people that are making the decisions. So creating that, having that culture, that environment that empowers people, that allows them to be their best self. And that's, I think, what is actually going to create the innovation. If you create a culture that I can bring my best self to work, or I can bring my background, my heritage, all the things that make me, all the things I've learned. Like I'm going to talk about my background. Like I said to you, I grew up in this village. One of the things, so I'm Hispanic, I'm an immigrant, I'm a woman, I'm a mother. All those things made me are important to me. So if I can create an environment that empowers people, I think that's what I think innovation will flourish. There's a great show on Netflix that I can't remember the name, but it's a great show where they talk to the amazing coaches, different sports coaches. They talk to the coach of Serena Williams. They talk to the coach of the women's basketball team. And they also interview the best soccer coach, he happens to be Portuguese, José Mourinho. And there was a question they asked José Mourinho. They said, when you were coaching Real Madrid, you had the greatest players in that team. You had Ronaldo and many others. So how do you coach Ronaldo how to do a free kick? And I thought he had a fantastic and beautiful answer to say, I can't coach Ronaldo or do a free kick. He knows how to do that. Well, my job is, how do I enable Ronaldo to do that in this team? So that is about culture. Because I can hire the best, and I can hire the most skilled people, the best people, can bring them together. But then if the environment doesn't allow for them to do what they do, because they know you hire the best people, and you should let them know what they know, because that's what they know how to do. You hire them for their skills, but then the environment has to enable them to do that. And if it doesn't, they're not going to succeed. It's like it's organ rejection.
How about this one around speed over process? I'm curious about this specifically because I know, I talk to a lot of organizations at scale where, of course, process is really important. Some leaders would say process sets you free, correct the process, not the person. And then you have this idea of speed over process, which I'm really interested in. Tell us about speed over process. Unpack that for us.
I am a big believer in that because to me, it goes back to what I just said about continued innovation. You can always get better, but the process gets in the way of you getting to market fast, and it's just slowing you down. If you get there, you're only 60 or 80%, right? You can always get to the next 20%, but you gotta get first. And if you get to market to 60, 80%, you then get feedback. You get feedback, and that feedback is way more valuable than the extra 40 or 20% that you're gonna spend doing it and trying to get it to perfection. So to me, speed, because I believe that it's best to evolve, right? Progress is much better. And that's why I think that to me is so important. So I always tell people, get it out there, get some feedback, get some reaction, and see how it performs. Whatever it is, a product, a piece of content, a podcast, you can have your first podcast, see how it does. And then see how people react, see the comments you get. And then you evolve from there. So speed for me is very, very important.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching. This segment is brought to you by Salesforce. Salesforce brings marketing and engagement together. If you want to learn more, head over to salesforce.com/marketing. And please subscribe to this channel for more marketing insights from the world's best marketing leaders across the Fortune 500 and beyond.